Hello, welcome to Dr. Max Getting Their Travel Training Program. Today we'll be going over the Lyft and Uber Basics training course. My name is Stephanie, and I have some contact information up here on the screen. Should you have any questions at the end of the training program, you can call us at 303-243-3113 for transportation assistance, or you can email me at soneill@drmac-co.org. There is a QR code in the top right of this screen. If you do have the time after this training course, I ask that you fill out that survey just so we can get some feedback on the training to know how we did and improve the training courses for the future. So today we will be talking about the Lyft and Uber apps and the different options for transportation in both of those. And first we'll be going over the Lyft app. So the Lyft app has multiple options for transportation, including the regular rideshare function with the cars, scooters, and e-bikes. And before I talk about those, I do want to mention the Lyft Community Pass. This is a discount program to help anyone who is in need of low-cost transportation. It is only available for scooters, but it does cost $5 per month with an additional 5 cents per minute to ride. So if you are qualified for it, if you're enrolled in any kind of state or federal assistance program like SNAP, Medicaid, you have a discounted utility bill or anything like that, you can qualify for the Community Pass. But again, it is only valid for the Lyft scooters. You can sign up for the Community Pass a couple different ways. You can sign up on your computer by going to lyft.com/bikes/denver-co/community. Or you can just Google Denver Lyft Community Pass and it will pop up. Or you can sign up in the app. I'll show some screenshots on the next slide of how to do this, but essentially you'll head over to the menu in the top left-hand corner of your app. You'll scroll down to where it says help, and then click on membership and account management, and then starting a new membership. And then finally you'll click on Community Pass. So these are some screenshots of walking through that process. So click on the 3 stacked lines in the top left-hand corner of your Lyft menu or Lyft app. Scroll down to where it says help, click on that, and then you'll click on bikes and scooters. The screenshot to the right of that one, you'll click on starting a new membership. And then finally, the screenshot all the way to the right, you'll click on Community Pass and you'll be able to sign up there. If you don't already have the Lyft app downloaded, you can download it for free on your smart device or your tablet. You'll just download the Lyft app, so LYFT. You'll search for that in your app store, and you'll find a pink icon with white text that says Lyft on it, and then you'll tap Get or Install to download the app onto your device. It is available on Apple devices as well as Android and Samsung devices. So now I'm going to switch over to my phone and we will talk about how to schedule a ride using the rideshare function. So on my home screen, I'm going to open up that Lyft app, that pink icon. And when I open it up, I will have a map on the top half of my screen, and then on the bottom half of my screen it will say nice to see you, and then there's a search bar below that that says where are you going. This is the landing page. So anytime you open up the app, this is what you'll find. And I want to point out on the very bottom of the screen, you'll find 4 icons. We have the rides icon in the bottom left-hand corner. This is where you'll access the ride share. To the right of that is the 2 wheels icon. This is where we'll go in when we want to find an e-bike or a scooter. There is currently a transit icon to the right of that. On the bottom, Lyft does not sell transit tickets anymore in the Lyft app, so we'll just ignore that. And then on the bottom right corner is a trips icon. So if you've planned or scheduled any trips, this is where you can access them. So we'll just walk through on how to find a or schedule a ride. So the first thing you're going to do is tap on that search bar towards the bottom of the screen that says, where are you going? And when you click on that, it will use your current location as your starting point. If you don't want this as your starting point, you can just tap on that text box and it will erase it and you can put in your address. But typically when you're booking a ride for yourself, you'll just use your current location. For this example, I'm going to start from the Denver Botanic Gardens. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in the Botanic Gardens and I see that option pop up towards the top. I'm just going to tap on that. And then my destination will go to Union Station. So it's one of my recent searches, so I can actually just go ahead and tap right on that. But if it wasn't, I could go ahead and type in Union Station. And my app is just going to ask me to confirm my drop-off location. It won't always ask you this, but it does ask you if you're going to Union Station. It wants to confirm this is the side of Union Station that you want to be dropped off at. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on set your drop-off at the bottom of my screen, that purple button. And then when I do that, I'll have some things pop up. So again, I have a map on the top half of my screen with a trip overview. There's a line that kind of shows me where my trip will go. And then on the bottom half of my screen, I have some ride options. So the first option that's popped up is the regular Lyft option. And a regular Lyft can hold up to 4 people in the vehicle. So as long as you have 4 people or under, you're good to go. There are a few different pickup options. The option that's currently highlighted in purple, it says pickup in 5 minutes. There's an option above that for pickup in 3 minutes, or below that that says pickup within 15 minutes. The longer you wait, the more money you'll save. So on the right side of my screen, there are all of the prices for these rides. So you can kind of weigh out your options and figure out which one you'd like to do. If I slide up on this menu, I'll have some other options for rides as well. So we have a Lyft XL in the middle of the screen. This is a ride for 6 people. So if you have more than 4 people, you'll need to book a Lyft XL. And scrolling down further, there's some more options for transportation. If you want maybe a fancy vehicle or something like that, you can do that as well. And I do just want to point out at the very bottom of the screen, there are some options for e-bikes and scooters, along with the cost estimate towards the right side of the screen. So these just kind of helps lay out all of the different transportation options for you. So if I wanted to request the pickup in 4 minutes, I would go ahead and click on select Lyft. It would ask me to confirm my pickup spot. Again, it usually will ask you for your pickup spot, but because I'm not currently at this location, it just wants to make sure that this is where I want to be picked up. And then if everything looks good, you're going to go ahead and click on confirm and request at the very bottom of the screen, and it will send out your information to nearby drivers and you'll be connected with a driver. You'll receive information on what their car looks like, what their license plate number is, and you'll get the driver's name and driver details. So that way, when you're waiting for your vehicle, you can track it and see, it's 5 minutes away, it's 2 minutes away, it's 1 minute away. And then you'll be able to get ready to get inside. I'll talk about this later, but I'll mention it now. Before you get into the Lyft car, you want to double check the license plate number, make sure it matches what's on your phone. When you open up the door, you can ask them who they're picking up. Just some extra safety measures. You will also receive during your ride some safety measures from Lyft. So if you feel unsafe at all throughout your ride, you do have tools to access some security and safety resources within the app, and you can share your trip details with folks. I apologize, I'm not able to show this just because I'm not currently waiting for a ride. So I'm going to click on the back arrow towards the bottom left of my screen to get back to this page. But that's essentially how you would go about requesting a Lyft ride. So the next thing that we'll talk about will be the Lyft scooters. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my slides here on my computer. And so the Lyft scooters are a great option for any kind of on-demand transportation. You don't have to own a scooter. You can just rent them, use them whenever you want. They're a great option for kind of filling in that gap. Let's say maybe you got off the bus and the bus stop wasn't right where you wanted to end up. You could hop on a scooter that will take you right to your final destination. Or if you were just going down the street and it was a little too far to walk, but you're able to hop on a scooter, you can do that as well. They do travel up to 15 miles per hour. That doesn't mean you have to go 15 miles per hour. You can go as slow or as fast as you would like, as you know, you're comfortable. They do cost $1 to unlock the scooters, and then they are 39 cents per minute. And there are some extra fees that go along with the scooters. Essentially, if you go outside of the service area and leave the scooter, and I'll show you what the service area is in a minute. But if you go outside of the service area and leave the scooter, there could be a $25 fine. There's a pretty large fine if you lose the scooter. So if you don't end your ride and you just abandon the scooter and it gets lost, you're liable for that. There is a $25 bad parking fee. I'll talk about what determines a good and bad parking situation with the scooters later, but essentially just making sure that it's not in the way of anything, any sidewalks, on anyone's lawn, or you know, making sure that it's standing upright, it's not laying down on the ground, those kinds of things. So these are the Lyft scooters. There's an image of them on the right side of the screen to show what they look like. There are two versions of the Lyft scooters that you might find around. There's a scooter that is all black, and then there's a scooter that is gray. They work the same way mechanically. They both go the same speed. They you know, do the same thing. They have handbrakes on the handlebars. There's a bell that you can use. There's a QR code in the middle of the handlebars that you'll scan to unlock the scooter, and I'll show how to do that in a second here. The newer scooters have a phone holder and a charger and turn signals, and things like that. So they really upgraded those models there, but you can use either one of them. And this image just shows that QR code in the middle of the handlebars on the right side of the screen. This is where you'll find that QR code. All right, so now I'm going to switch back over to my phone, and we will walk through on how to unlock a scooter in the app. So when I open the Lyft app back up, I'm going to go to the very bottom of the screen and click on two wheels. And when I do that, I will have a big map pop up with a bunch of small dots, and it can look a little bit overwhelming. But if I zoom in on a section here, I'll start to notice that each icon represents either a scooter or an e-bike. And this is a really helpful tool if you're somewhere and you are not sure if there's a scooter nearby. You don't have to actually go outside and wander around and try to find one. You can just hop on the app and, you know, check out if there's one nearby. So let's say I was right near this scooter that's on the screen. So I zoomed all the way in, and there's a scooter icon in the middle of my screen, and I want that scooter, and I'm walking up to it right now. I would go ahead and do one of two things. So I could either click right on that scooter icon, and what will happen when I click on that scooter is some information on the scooter will pop up. So it will tell me the address of where the scooter is located. Towards the bottom of my screen, there's an address. It will tell me the pricing information. This pricing that I have right here is different from the regular pricing. I just have a discount code in here. So again, it's $1 to unlock and then 39 cents per minute. And then it will actually tell me the charge of how far the scooter can go. So it looks like this one can go 43 miles, which is very far. And I don't think I would ever go 43 miles on my scooter, but maybe you will. And if this all looks good and I want to unlock this scooter, I could go ahead and click on the purple scan button in the bottom right corner. And this will just open up my camera on my phone, and I would go ahead and scan that QR code in the middle of those handlebars, and it will connect it to my phone, unlock the scooter, and I'll be able to start my ride. If for some reason you don't have a camera on your phone or it's broken, you can manually enter the number underneath that QR code by clicking on the keyboard in the bottom left corner of the screen, and that will open up the keyboard here. To X out of that, I can click on the X in the top left corner. Another way to unlock a scooter is if, let's say, I didn't select that scooter, I could just click on the bottom right corner on that little purple QR code icon, and that will just open up the scooter. So you don't have to open up the map and find the exact scooter that you're looking at. You can just open up this camera and it will scan, the vehicle that you're at. Lyft does allow you to reserve and pause scooters. So let's say I was on the app, I was nearby, this is the only scooter nearby, and I wanted to make sure that no one else got it. I could actually reserve the scooter. So I could click on reserve in the bottom left corner, and it will reserve it for up to, I believe it's 10 or 15 minutes. I think it's 10 minutes. So I can make sure that no one else takes it. So if someone were to walk up to the scooter after I reserved it, they wouldn't be able to unlock it. It would tell them that it is reserved. And you can also pause the ride. So if I'm in the middle of my ride, there will be an option on my screen to pause the ride. So same thing, if I was, riding around and I needed to run into the store for something quickly, I could hit pause and then I could run into the store, and then I would be sure that no one would have taken the scooter that I was using while I was in the store. So that's an option as well. And then once you are ready to start your scooter ride, there are a couple of things that you'll do to get it going. So you will place one foot on the scooter, your dominant foot, whatever foot you feel most comfortable standing on, and then the other foot, or apologies, you'll place your non-dominant foot on the scooter, and then the other one on the ground, or however you feel comfortable scootering. And then you will kick off the ground twice, and you'll press the throttle on the right handlebar, and then your scooter will start to go. If you just stand on the scooter and press the throttle, nothing will happen. You do have to give it those 2 kicks to get it going. If you do need to stop or slow down, you can use the brakes on the handlebar. On some scooters, it's just on the left. On the newer scooters, there are 2 hand brakes on the handlebars. Make sure that you're always wearing a helmet, following the rules of the road. Please don't ride with a passenger. Just have one person to one scooter. Don't ride on the sidewalk. I know that some roads are a little scarier than others to ride on the street, so maybe choose an alternative route where you feel safe riding on the road. And then, of course, if there are bike lanes, you can use those as well. So these are the Lyft area restrictions. So these are kind of what I was talking about earlier with those parking restrictions. The number one thing to keep in mind when you're using the Lyft scooters or the e-bikes is that you have to start your ride and end your ride in the service zone, in the same service zone. And I'll show a map of what the service zone is in a second here. You can travel outside of the service line, but you need to just make sure that you come back within those that area before you end your ride. And there are two colors that you'll find on the map. So there's a blue area. That means that it's a governed speed zone. So you can travel in those areas. You just have to go under, I believe it's 5 miles per hour. And then there is the red shaded zone, which is just the out of zone. So you need to stay out of those. You can't ride in those areas. So here we have some screenshots. So this middle screenshot is a zoomed out version of the Denver area service zone. So all of the surrounding red shaded area is out of the zone. And if I zoom in on that map, the screenshot on the right, there are some red shaded zones within Denver. And there are some of those blue shaded zones for those governed speed zones. So you'll find this on your own phone when you're using the scooter or the e-bike. But just so you know what to expect and what that will look like. Lyft does offer e-bikes. They work in a pretty similar manner as far as unlocking, reserving, and pausing as the scooters go. The bikes do come with a bike lock, with a cable lock, so you don't have to worry about carrying your own bike lock. The only thing with the e-bikes is that you have to lock it to a bike rack. You can't lock it to a pole, to a street sign, to a tree, to itself. It needs to be locked to a public bike rack within the service area. You can adjust the seat height just like you could on a regular bike. You'll just pedal it to start. And because it is an e-bike, you do have the option to either pedal or turn on the battery for the e-bike. Same with the scooters, they are $1 to unlock and then 39 cents per minute. And same thing, you want to make sure that you're not riding on the sidewalk and that you're wearing a helmet. And again, you're not locking it to anything other than a bike rack. So I'll quickly walk through how to unlock the e-bike on the app, but it is almost the exact same process as unlocking a scooter. So I'll just go through it quickly here. So when I open up that Lyft app again, I'm on, just as a refresher, I'm at the very bottom of the screen, click on that 2 wheels icon, and then you'll just zoom in on the map. And I'm going to click on that bike icon in the middle of my screen, and you'll notice a similar thing pops up on the bottom of my screen. I have the address of where the bike is located. I have the pricing information, and then I have the distance that it will travel. So this one only will go 11 miles. If this was, maybe 5 miles, I might want to try to find a different bike, but I don't think I'd be traveling more than 11 miles on this bike. So that's good to go. If I want to unlock that bike, I can click on that scan button in the bottom right corner, scan that QR code in the middle of the handlebars with my phone. Or if I wanted to reserve it, I could click on reserve in the bottom left. The Lyft e-bikes follow the same service area restrictions as the scooters. So just make sure that you are following those as well. These are just some screenshots recapping that. All right, so now we're going to talk about the Uber app. It pretty much works the same way as the Lyft app. It is a rideshare app with other features in it. You can access scooters, e-bikes, and purchase transit tickets in there as well. Uber does have a few more options. You can purchase food delivery and shopping delivery and things like that. So to find the app, you would head to your app store, again, either on an Apple device or Android, Samsung device,
and you would search the word Uber, U-B-E-R, look for this black icon with white text on it that says Uber, and then you would install the app onto your device. So to use Uber rideshare, again, I'm going to switch over to my phone. That we'll do a walkthrough of the app so I can show how it works. All right. So we're going to go ahead and open up the Uber app. I'm going to tap right on that. And the page it will take me to is this home page where at the top of the screen it says where to. And then towards the middle of the screen, there are suggestions of other resources they have and tools that they have in the app. So there's two wheels, ride, transit, rental cars, things like that. So first, we're going to focus on the rideshare aspect of the app. So towards the top of the screen, I'm going to tap on where it says where to, and I'm going to do the same thing where I will go ahead and put in my starting point. So we'll do the Denver Botanic Gardens again, to Union Station, just typing that in, clicking on the option that I want. And then similar to the Lyft app, some options for transit will pop up. So the first one that's highlighted in that white rectangle is Uber X. That holds 4 people. And then it will give me some details under where it says Uber X. So it looks like there's a car that's 3 minutes away. The pricing is on the right side of the screen. And then if I scroll down, there are some more options as well. So we have that Uber XL, so that's for 6 people. We have a bunch of other things as well. If you want like an electric car or something like that, you can do that. And similar to Lyft, we have some options in the middle of the screen for transit, e-bikes, and scooters as well with those price estimates there. So if I wanted to request an Uber X, I would click on that. And it would again tell me the price estimate, how far away it is. There's a map on the top half of the screen that shows me my route that I would be taking. And if everything looks good, I'll go ahead and click confirm Uber X at the bottom of my screen. And that will send me the driver details, like the license plate number, what the car looks like, what the driver's name is, things like that. And just like Lyft, you'll have some security options while you are in your ride. So if you feel uncomfortable or unsafe for any reason, you can utilize those security features that they have built into the app. So next, I am going to talk about the Lime scooters. So these work in a very similar manner than as the Lyft ones do. So you'll have a QR code. I'll go ahead and switch back to my slides for a second here. You'll have a QR code in the middle of your handlebars. Up here, towards the top right of my screen, I have an image of that. But they work pretty similarly. The price does vary by location. So rather than having a fixed price point, the prices do vary based on the location. But the Lime scooters you'll find are green and white. You do want to make sure that you're wearing a helmet. And again, riding on the streets, do not ride on the sidewalks. To locate a scooter, you will go ahead and on that homepage of your Uber app, click on where it says, I think it says 2 wheels. Let me just go back here. Yeah, 2 wheels on the Uber app. And then you'll click on, same thing as the Lyft app, you'll click on the scooter that you want. It will pull up the information like the charge, the price to unlock and to use it. And then if you want, you can reserve it or you can scan to ride. Those are the 2 options at the bottom of the screen when you click on the scooter. And if you click scan to ride, the camera will open and you'll scan that QR code in the middle of the handlebars. And same thing with the e-bikes. You would just click on the bike and scan the QR code on the handlebars. And same thing, it does come with a bike lock, so you don't have to worry about using your own. Just some screenshots here showing that what the e-bikes look like.
All right, so now we're going to talk about how to purchase RTD tickets in the Uber app. There are a couple of ways to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my slides, or my phone rather. This is a mess. This is a mess. So now we're going to talk about how to purchase RTD tickets in the Uber app. I would like to mention that Lyft does not sell RTD tickets in their app. This is only specific to the Uber app. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my phone to walk through how to do that. If you need to pause on the screen and read through, feel free, but I'm going to go ahead and switch over now so you can walk through how to purchase those on the Uber app. So when I open up my Uber app, I will have 4 icons that go across the middle of the screen from left to right. If transit is an option that pops up here, this screen might look different for everyone. On my screen, it's the second icon from the right. If you don't have the transit icon here, you can click on See All in the middle right of the screen. And you'll find a bunch of different icons here. One of them will be transit, so you can click on that one. On my screen right here, it's on towards the top left of the screen under 2 wheels. So I can go ahead and just click on transit. And when I click on that, I will have 2 things. So I have a map at the top of my screen on the top half, and then I have a menu I can slide up on the bottom half that says public transit, and I can zoom in for more details or more options onto the map. But I'm going to go ahead and click on more tickets on the middle right of the screen. So this is how the first option of how I can buy tickets. So I can click on more tickets. And then a menu will pop up. It just says RTD. This is where you can purchase tickets here. And it says that most riders will purchase an adult local 3-hour pass. Obviously, it depends on the ticket that you're looking to purchase. And if I did purchase any tickets already, they would pop up here. But since I haven't, I'm going to click on Buy Ticket in the bottom middle of the screen. And when I click on that, I'll have a menu with the different ticket types. So we have full fare, discount, youth, live, and the accessory tickets here. And it does mention that until from now until August 2024, anyone who is 19 years or younger will ride for free. They don't have to pay to use RTD. But so let's say I wanted to purchase a discount pass, so I could click on discount. And then on the left side of the screen, it will tell me the ticket type. So that first option we have up there is a local 3-hour pass discount. Below that is a regional 3-hour pass discount. Below that is the local day pass. And then towards the top of the screen, it will actually tell you that it's a local bus, 1 to 2 rail zones, and no airport. So it's just kind of a reminder for what the ticket is valid for. On the right side of the screen, you'll find a plus and a minus button. If I click on the plus button, this will add, you can add up to, I think, 10 tickets per transaction. So if I wanted to buy, let's say, 3 local 3-hour pass discount tickets, I could do that. And if I wanted to buy 1 regional airport ticket, I could do that. Or you could click on the minus icon to get rid of that. And then you would click on next in the bottom right corner, and it will bring you to this page where it basically has a disclaimer saying that you need to be eligible for the discounted fares, and that the tickets will expire 45 days after purchase, regardless of if you use them. So make sure when you're buying the ticket, you have plans to use it. You're not just buying a bunch of tickets at once and then they're sitting in your account and you never use them. So towards the bottom of the screen is where you will add your payment information if you don't already have it in there. And then you'll click on Buy Now in the bottom right corner to purchase the ticket. And I would like to mention that any RTD tickets you purchase in the Uber app will stay in the Uber app. You won't be able to access them through the RTD app or the Transit app or any other app you use to buy tickets. They'll be in the Uber app.
The second way to purchase RTD tickets in the Uber app is to click that where to bar at the very top of the screen. This is a search bar you can click on, and you can start, put in your starting point. So we'll go from the Botanic Gardens again, Denver Botanic Gardens, and we'll end at Union Station here. And when I type that in, transit will pop up as an option. So the third option down on this menu that popped up, so the top option is the Uber X, then we have Uber Green, and then we have transit. So if I go ahead and click on the highlighted transit box, it will recommend some routes, and this will work in a similar way to the RTD trip planner, which we go over in our RTD basics course. But if I have a menu, or excuse me, a map on the top half of my screen that has the route overview, and at the bottom of my screen, I can slide up on this menu, and it will actually give me step-by-step instructions on how to navigate the trip. If I click on go, that white go button at the bottom of my screen, it will tell me how to get to my destination. I can slide up on that menu and it will give me step-by-step instructions. If I did need to buy tickets for this route, I didn't already have them, I could click on buy ticket in the bottom left corner of the screen, and it will bring me right back to that menu where I can buy the ticket. So those are the two ways to purchase RTD tickets in the Uber app. I'm going to switch back to my slides just so I can show the screenshots of what we just walked through in case you want to pause and go over anything again. But these are just some screenshots showing the first option, where you just click on more tickets in the middle right of the screen. And then this is the second option where you would search for your destination and then find the recommended routes that pop up. All right, so some safety tips and information. So like I mentioned before, when you're requesting an Uber or a Lyft, you want to make sure that you're aware of your surroundings, you're checking your license plate number before you're getting into the car. If you are able to wait inside for the ride, especially if it's dark out, if it's cold out, hot out, just, be mindful of that. You can have your driver confirm your name. If you open the door, just ask them who they're picking up and they'll repeat your name. You can share the trip details with your friends and family. And of course, we have those safety features in the app. So if you feel unsafe, you can connect with someone. Here we have some scooter safety information. I think the most important thing is to just follow the standard traffic laws of the road. So stopping at stop signs, stopping at red lights, wearing a helmet, riding in the bike lane or on the street. Make sure you're riding with the direction of traffic, not against. So just make sure that you're following those. Don't ride on sidewalks. Don't ride with more than one person on a scooter at a time. It might seem efficient, but it is dangerous. Don't block any crosswalks, ramps, anything that would prevent someone from moving on the sidewalk. Make sure, again, you're riding in the same direction as traffic, and then you do have to be 18 years or older to use Lyft or Uber. So when you're parking your scooter, you want to make sure that you're parking it ideally at a designated zone or a bike rack. Of course, that isn't always an option. So if you are not able to do that, make sure you're parking it on a hard surface, somewhere just not in the way. Make sure you're not parking it on someone's lawn, on a crosswalk or in a parking spot, any kind of ramp, anywhere that someone would be traveling. You want to make sure that it's out of the way. And then when you're ready to end your ride, you'll go ahead and put the kickstand down on the scooter and then tap end ride in the app. And again, it will ask you to take a picture of the scooter before you walk away from it. Just some safety tips for riding e-bikes. Make sure that you check the e-bike availability near you in the app before you head out. So you're not walking around and searching for one and not finding one. Choose a route that fits your comfort level. Like I mentioned before, there are some pretty busy streets. So if you don't feel comfortable riding on those, pick a different route. The app does try to show you the safest route for traveling on a scooter or an e-bike. But just check that out beforehand so you don't accidentally find yourself in a situation where you feel unsafe and uncomfortable. Obey traffic signals just with the scooters, stay off sidewalks, and use hand signals. The bottom right-hand corner is a graphic of hand signals. So if you want to go ahead and practice, you can, but these are helpful when you are on a bike so you can indicate to drivers where you're turning and hopefully avoid crashing into a car or anything. So that's kind of all that I have for you today. So to kind of summarize everything, Lyft and Uber pretty much function the same. So I always say if you feel comfortable with one, you'll probably feel okay with the other. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings. I think that's the most important thing. And then just remember that if you do purchase RTD tickets in the Lyft or Uber app, the tickets will stay there. They won't transfer to a different app. And yeah, that's really all that I have. Download the apps if you don't already have them. Create an account, play around with them. If you're feeling confident and comfortable with them, feel free to try out an e-bike or a scooter, just to kind of get the feel for them. But yeah, please reach out to me if you have any questions. The other courses that we offer, ignore this is incorrect, but we have overview of transit resources and RTD basics. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me either by phone or by email. And we do have a survey up at the top right corner of the screen. If you scan that QR code, it will take you to the survey, and we really appreciate any feedback that you have for us. But yeah, thank you so much for joining, and I hope it was helpful.